Yeah.
Elosito. Bimbo. Hey.
She's Pharisees. Yeah. Let me talk about my life, nigga. This is how I feel. I spent the last 5 years trying to figure out a hill. For real, I step between the balance, being rich or being killed. Yeah. For real, a nigga independent, don't care about a deal. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Well, that's a lie because you got to be 21 and over to watch this shit. Unselfish Behavior Podcast, Season 2, Episode number 8, I believe. We are here. Y'all know how we do. Nothing has changed. We only sit with legends. We only sit with them ones with boots on the ground with a vision that can sit here with King Q and have a beautiful conversation for at least an hour. We only sit with individuals that cater to the people. We only sit with individuals that love and honor their craft. Today is no different. We got T.D.E in the building. Can I just say that like that one time? We got T.D.E in the building. Can I just say that one time? We got a legend in the building, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here, to a lot of y'all, is up and coming. But to us, he's already legendary. And you will, I guarantee you will look back on this footage and say, wow, King Q called it. He called it. Before the Breakfast Club did. Before a lot of these cats did. This brother right here is legendary. If you don't know, now you know. Without further ado, you know T.D.E is in the building. You know that he's legendary. You know this brother is an artist, he's a rapper, and he's an all-around energy mover. Without further ado, we got the one, the only, Reason in the building. Let's make some noise for Reason, y'all.
That is an incredible intro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is a beautiful
yes,
intro.
Sir.
I appreciate that. I feel important right now.
We're here.
Yeah.
Hey, as you should. As you should.
Yeah,
and we are here, man. This right here I like to call is the dojo.
The dojo.
It's the dojo.
Yeah.
This where you come get your sparring work done. This where you leave feeling stronger. This when you leave feeling more empowered. You leave feeling more free. You know, but it's an honor to have you, my brother, and I know it's long overdue.
I appreciate you having me. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
my brother.
I appreciate you being patient with it too.
Absolutely,
yeah.
of
my
course,
dog. Yeah.
of course. Real quick, man, before we jump into any conversation or dialogue, I always like to ask my guests to just answer these 3 questions for the people out there that may not know who you are. Those questions are: let the people know real quick who you are, what you do, and what you stand for.
I'm Reason from Carson, California. I'm a hip hop artist, but most importantly, music. It saved me from a therapeutical standpoint. So it's like I am an artist, but I really do this shit for me. You know what I mean? I wasn't good at talking about stuff and talking about things I go through. So music is really what saved me in that standpoint. So that's what I do, and a lot of it is who I am, just because I put a lot of my real life and emotions into it. And I'm signed to Top Dog Entertainment, so I feel like a kid from LA that got signed to the Lakers.
Isn't that fucking insane?
Man.
Top Dog has now become like that pivotal.
It's the Lakers.
Yeah,
bro.
literally
Lakers,
of LA.
bro.
Like,
for
you know what I'm
real.
saying? That's the home team.
It's the Lakers from the standpoint, and from every standpoint, I even tell people this, even from the standpoint of, even if the Lakers aren't, which we've never not been good, but even if the Lakers aren't good.
Wait.
I'm saying T.D.E is not.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Lakers.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
I can
TDE.
name some years.
No, we can name some years for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even when we not dropping, we're still always talked about. So I say that about the Lakers. Even when the Lakers aren't good, they always on SportsCenter. They always talked about. You get what I'm saying? It's TDE from every standpoint in it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's the Lakers.
It's a solid fucking squad.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We know y'all got K-Dot.
That's a
We
fact.
know y'all got SZA. We got Schoolboy Q. We got Ab Soul.
Solo.
We got Solo. We got Kendrick Lamar's cousin.
No, so he's not on TDE.
He's not on TDE?
He's on PG Lane. That's
So a lot of niggas-
That's Dot's new label that he's doing. You know what I mean?
So he got his own label now.
Yeah, he got his own label now. He got his own label. So Dot actually, people are confused about it. So Dot, he did his last album with TDE, this last one, and so technically, from a label standpoint, he's not under us, but it's family. So he's always Top Dog Entertainment. A lot of people think it's an issue. There's no issue there. It's just. This is what Top's plan is. Top's plan is to grow artists so that they can go do their own thing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
a lot of people, when Dot left, they was like, oh, it must be beef. No, it's like graduation. You get what I'm saying? Like, he just graduated to now having his own, you know what I mean?
Kind of like Gervonta Davis with Mayweather Promotions.
It's the exact same thing. People think that Davis got something, he got an issue with Floyd. No, there's no issue. This was always the plan. The plan was for me to grow into my own man and, become my own thing. It's the same exact thing with that. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got Isaiah Rashad over there.
Isaiah Rashad. We got a couple.
He's super dope, by the way.
Incredible.
Jesus
Fucking incredible.
Christ, dude.
Incredible, bro.
I saw his interview with Charlemagne that they did recently.
Yeah.
And I started listening to his music after that. I said, Jesus fucking Christ.
Nah, he's incredible.
This nigga's nasty.
Yeah, nah, he's incredible, bro. I honestly, and this ain't even from no bias, like, I can honestly say every single person on our label is extremely talented, and we're all different. We got Rayvon, he just signed not too long ago out of Long Beach. We got Doechii, she just signed. She's fucking incredible already. She just got XXL Freshman of the Year, one of the picks from that. We got Zakari. He's out of Bakersfield, if I'm right. He was the one that was on Dot's Love record, to Love Me, like so.
Okay,
That's Zakari. We got Lance Skyward. We got a bunch of dudes, but everybody's incredibly talented.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
and we got J-Rock. I don't want to leave that out because he's the grandfather of T.D.E. People don't know
J-Rock
that. Yeah.
is super
T.D.E. wouldn't be
dope.
what T.D.E. is without J-Rock.
Yeah, win. He's disgusting.
Come on, man. That's my favorite rapper from the label.
Absolutely,
That's my favorite rapper from the label.
Nice. Real quick, how'd you get connected with Top Dog? What was that connection like, and how did that start?
Yeah, so I got a childhood friend. His name is Tyrone. His uncle, actually, his name is Keem. And basically, Keem was watching me come up on the underground scene in L.A.
Is he related to Baby Keem?
No, he's not related to Baby
Okay,
Keem. He's not related to Baby Keem.
I had to ask.
No, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so Keem had been knowing me probably 2 years before he brought me onto the label, and I used to always beg for Keem to like play my shit, like please play my shit for Top, play my shit for Top. But I used to ask him through other people because I didn't know Keem that well, but I knew people that knew him. And so Tyrone would play my shit for Keem. Keem would be like, he dope, but he's just not ready yet. And then I actually had a release party for my first project that got released from the label. There you have it. I dropped that before I got signed to the label. I made it all off of YouTube beats. And I had the release party here at Blue Moon.
Come on, when was this?
I had it in Blue Moon, 2016. Had a release party there.
That's when I first started coming to Blue Moon.
I had it, bro. I had a release. Yeah. That's why when I started pulling it up here for the legendary nights,
makes sense.
I was like, this is
home.
This is
What
home.
are you talking about?
I had my CD table set up back there. You feel me? And we had a Proud to Pay, so you can come get a CD you can pay whatever you want to pay. If you want to offer me a quarter, you get my CD for a quarter. You want to offer me $50, whatever it is.
I love that.
And so Keem came through. He bought a CD for $100 just to show support. And then we announced at the party that I was having my first headliner show in LA. And Keem, he bought 20 tickets and just brought a bunch of niggas from T.D.E. to the show. And then Top's son Musa found me at the show. And he didn't even know my music. He just loved the way I performed on stage. And literally just off of that, he walked me in the Top, and then the rest ended up going from there. Yeah.
History.
Like I signed maybe like 2 weeks after that.
A lot of people think this, and that's an amazing fucking story. A lot of people on the outside looking in, from me perspective, I'll speak from my perspective, but on the outside looking in, I always ask myself when I see people get signed for the first time, how has their life changed?
Yeah.
What has that been like for you, whether it's been a financial, whether it's been a camaraderie, whether it's been exposure, whatever it's been, how have you noticed that your life has changed since you've gotten signed to TDE?
Well, it's funny because you go through waves of it. So, like, at first, my life changed from a perspective of everybody thought I had money, and I didn't have no money. And niggas thought that I had money because I was signed. You get what I'm saying? So it was like.
This 2016?
This is 2017. I got signed in 2017, but I didn't get announced until 2018 because it was after Black Panther.
Got it.
And so basically I got signed. I was making $90,000 a year before I got signed. And so when I got signed, I actually took a pay cut. Like I actually lost a little bit of bread at first from that perspective. And then got signed, not lost bread because I don't want to say that because I gained a lot, but just made lower amount of money the first year because I wasn't dropping. I just signed and I was just working. I was doing Black Panther with Dot, and I was just making a lot of music, just trying to grow. You know what I mean? I look at my first year as just like training sessions. Like I thought I was making music for my first album, but I wasn't because all that music wasn't good enough to be like later on when I released it, I realized it wasn't. I was just getting better.
Gotcha.
And so it changed from the perspective of everybody thinks you own, they think that you famous, they think that you rich, and you really don't have that. You just really have the spotlight without all the other shit. You know what I mean? So I'm still living in like a shitty 2-bedroom apartment with my brother. I still got a bucket. You know what I mean? And you go through this ego thing where you're trying to figure out how to, because even the humblest. You'll feel away when, you pull up certain places, you don't got certain shit, but people expect you to have it. It kind of like, throw you in different ways, but people expect you to have it. And so then when you start actually making a little bit of money, getting a little bit of success and whatnot, then it changes from the perspective of, you start to see the people that treat you differently because you have what you have versus this is always who you've been. You know what I'm saying? I got cousins that call me Rob my whole life. Now they call me Reason. That's weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got people that, you know, like we was talking before this, like I've always been bad with my phone. Now it's an issue that I'm bad with my phone. I've been bad with my phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like, oh, you changed.
It's more highlighted.
Exactly, but it's like, bro, I've been not texting nobody back. Like, you've been have to call me to give me, you know what I mean? That's been a thing. So you just kind of see it from that perspective. But I am genuinely, I'm genuinely appreciative of the people that's around me, because the people that's around me, they treat me, 90% of the people around me treat me the exact same that they did before this shit, which makes this whole transition a lot easier.
Beautiful. I fucking love it. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, damn. Not just what is that like getting signed, but like what is that like dealing with the family shit? Like I couldn't imagine like going through it with my brother or like my cousin or like, you know what I'm saying? People that, like you just said, people your whole life calls you Reason, and all of a sudden they call, it's like my brother or like, you know what I'm saying, my cousin Marvon, shout out to Marvon, that's my guy. That's my, you know what I'm saying, blood cousin that we grew up super tight. We super close. He live out in Houston now, and it's like him calling me King Q.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, you're like, bro, like what?
Why are you calling me? Everything okay?
Bro,
you know
what is that? Like, you've known me, like, you've known me way before.
Matter of fact, don't call me that.
Bro, don't call.
Yeah,
I tell people that. Like, I tell people, don't call, like Top called me Rob because he got introduced to me as Rob. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like a lot of that, and you know, it don't bother me when people call me Reason, but if you somebody that's been knowing me since before I was Reason, it's like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I that? You get what I'm saying? Like,
you know what, me, bro? I try my hardest, by the grace of the Almighty God. I try my hardest to just treat everybody like I want to be treated. It sounds so cliche.
Sounds super cliche.
But I swear to God, I don't care if you're the fucking janitor. I don't in my body care. I don't care at all. I'm going to just treat every individual with love and respect and with honor and dignity and the ways that in which I want to be treated. You know what I mean? So my another question that I wanted to ask you was, before you got signed, I'm pretty sure it was a lot of artists that you would look at from the outside looking in, to where you wasn't in those rooms, you wasn't in those studio sessions, you know what I'm saying, with these individuals. Who were those individuals specifically by name that you just like, man, I want to work with this individual. I want to be in a studio with them. I want to feel their energy. Who were those individuals for you?
It was a lot of different people. It was actually, before I even met anybody from the label, it was J-Rock. Like I told you, one of my favorite rappers, period. It was J-Rock.
Told him that?
I told him that. I told him that the first day I met him.
How did he respond?
He was, you know, you could tell it was first. He, you know, you think it's just like somebody saying that to you. And he's just like, oh, appreciate it, bro. But now that's like my big brother, he know me very well. He knows how much of an influence he's had on me now that we've grown a relationship and whatever the case may be. But yeah, it was J-Rock, Cole. I got a great relationship with J. Cole now.
Nice.
Got a great relationship with him, which I'm thankful for. On a personal level, like, we haven't even done no music, but like,
that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait till the day that it happens. But like, we've sat and talked about, like, he put me on meditation. He talked me through issues with my my last relationship. He's just a very good, dope big brother figure that I can call for anything personal and have a long. We actually rarely talk about music, to be honest with you, when we shoot the shit and whatnot. But it was Cole. But the biggest one that I always remember is Boogie from Compton.
Okay.
So Westside Boogie. So
I've heard him. Yeah.
So Boogie was like my favorite rapper from LA at the time, and he was a dude that I met. I met him at a studio session. We knew a lot of the same people, similar to what we was talking about.
Yep.
And I wanted to work with Boogie so bad. And when I reached out to him and we became cool, you know, Boogie, that's why I appreciate him, because he was the only person to not give me the industry runaround. He was just like, look, we can't work right now because it don't make no sense, but you dope. Like, let's just keep in contact. And I appreciated that, instead of you giving me the runaround, you know, making me hit you up all the time and different things like that. It's like we just kept a relationship. You get what I'm saying? And so, and he came to my first headlining show. He was coming to shows when I was on the come up, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And then we finally got to work with each other. We've done like 4 or 5 joints. We released one Trap Tan. We released another one for a song I Got Extinct, but he did the remix with me. It's like a bunch of people, Joey Badass, Jack Harlow. It's like a bunch of niggas on that. And that's like genuinely my friend now. You know what I mean? Like, that's my dog. And so, but yeah, it's been, if I was naming all of them, it's been a bunch of people that I wanted to be in rooms with that I finally got in the rooms. And there's been some people that I got in the rooms with that, like, I got in the room and I'm like, damn, I thought I wanted to be in the room with you, but I don't really want to be in the room with you no more.
Energy ain't right.
Yeah, like it
We were
ain't.
just
Yeah.
talking about that.
Exactly. It's
The
like, you know,
energy.
yeah, exactly.
I'd rather not.
I thought I did, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't really want to be in the room with you no more.
Yeah. I can't ask you who those people were.
I can't tell you who those people are. I can't tell you that. Unfortunately, I can't tell you
I
that.
can't ask you who are those individuals. I
can't
can
tell
only
you that.
speculate. I cannot say who I think those
But
individuals
I wish
were.
them the best all in all. Yeah.
Absolutely. So listen, are any of those individuals? Let me ask you this: are any of those individuals that you didn't feel an energetic connection to, but yet you know for a fact if you made a song with them, it'll be a smash?
Yeah.
Is there any of those that's in that category?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Actually, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. And I would still be open, you know, from the art standpoint of working with them. But at the same time, it's like it would have to be an easy situation because I'm not good at faking it. So it would have to be something that's like
A genuine energy,
exactly,
a genuine vibe,
exactly,
a genuine
yeah.
exchange.
Exactly. Because it's like one of those things. If we around each other too long, I'm gonna end up telling you the truth. I'm gonna end up being like, yo, why you act like this? Like,
I'm the type of person that to where it's like I may not verbally tell you the truth because I believe that our first language is our energy.
yeah,
Before you open your mouth, I can feel
I agree.
a sense of what type of individual you are.
I agree.
But I'm the type of person that just like kind of create that distance to where it's
Yeah.
like, you know, you may DM me even if you got a blue check or whatever. I don't care about
Yeah.
none of that shit.
No, I'm the same way.
So I'm
the same
like,
way.
hey,
Yeah.
I've connected with you once. The energy wasn't right, and I'd rather just not tell you that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know.
Nah, we
but
just love each
I'm
other from
just
a
like,
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
like
yeah, it's all
no
love.
love lost, but like I don't have a thing. But let me bring it to this reason. First of all, this is an honor. Why? Because it's not one person I've ever interviewed since 2019 that I did not call a legend. Meaning, I don't sit with nobody that I don't have, and from my perspective, already in that light.
Yeah.
I've sat with individuals that have 4,000 followers. Like I'm still saying the same thing. Like, bro, it's an honor
respect. Yeah,
to be in your presence because I know what I can learn from you. I know you behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. But now that you've talked about the individuals that you want to work with, are there any individuals in the industry to where you thought you wanted to work with, you actually worked with, and you like, I should have I probably could have held out on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, definitely.
No,
No,
without
definitely.
saying no names.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's like,
no,
yeah,
for sure. It's just one of those
should have
things.
held off.
Yeah, it's just one of them things where like it's like you do it and you just kind of like, this don't really feel. It don't really feel like, you know what I mean. What I thought, like it's an old saying, and my uncle used to say it to me too. He used to say, "Never meet your idols," because you already have a certain level of respect for your idols before you even know them, to where it can only go downward. You know what I'm saying? Like you can only think worse of them because you think, not a knock on them, but you think so highly of them, you can only think worse of them. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like never meet your idols. But I can't say from a positive perspective that there's been people I felt that way about, and that I thought I could only think like lower than them because that's how highly I respected them. And then when I met them, I even respected them even more because they were just that dope of people. So it's definitely gone both ways. But the people that is the other way with, it's definitely a disappointment because it's like, you know, we all kids at the end of the day. No matter how old you get, we all kids. You know what I'm saying?
Speak on that.
You have your childhood dreams and different things like that. And to me, I've always pictured it as if you live an ideal life, you never stop dreaming. You never stop having those childhood moments because you're doing the things that you love. You know what I'm saying? You only stop being a kid when you start doing the things that you don't love, but you're doing it for survival. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're doing something that you love, you still have those childhood moments where you like, you know, you want this to happen. You want this moment to happen. I got things in my career that like even right now that I would do for free because of the moment, because I'm a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is something that I've always wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if they bring 106 in Park back tomorrow, I'll go up there for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll go perform for nothing. If they bring Big Ticket in the basement, I'm going up there for, you know what I'm saying? Like it's certain shit that I'm doing for nothing because this is my childhood. You know what I mean? Like so, you know, ideally you live in that realm and that's where you get your currency from what you're doing.
Absolutely. I was up the other night, Reason, at my sister house, Coquise. Shout out Coquise.
That's a name.
Yeah, Coquise.
That's
It's
a
funny
name.
because she's like the only person I've ever met in my entire life with that name. But I'm at Coquise's house the other day, house sitting, and she lives out in the hills in Windsor Hills.
Okay.
And she has a beautiful fucking view on the outside of her patio overlooking the city. And I'm out there with my queen, and we just chopping it up, you know what I'm saying, drinking. We ran through 3 bottles of wine that night. We just having a good time, putting the speaker on, playing music. And I said, let me listen to some of Reason shit because I'm about to interview him in a few motherfucking days.
It's love.
Nigga, you motherfucker. I'm not gonna sit here and cap because I don't drink cappuccino and I could barely wear caps on my head because I got a big head. I wear a size 8 fitted cap, so it's hard for me to wear caps. I'm sitting there listening. The first song I drop is Impalas and Hydraulics.
Shout out Chuck.
Is that Impalas and Hydraulics?
Yeah, Impalas and Hydraulics. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually my first, I call it West Coast release. And what I mean by that is like, yeah, it sounds like LA.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it sounds like LA. A lot of my influences come from East Coast just because those are some of my favorite rappers. But this one is like, this is the beach. This is, you know, the Mexican culture. This is the lowriders. This is, you know, gang banging. This is Impalas and Hydraulics. That's why we chose that name is Impalas and Hydraulics. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody from LA can relate
bro,
to the
this
two
is
words.
what we grew up on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure, bro. What was it like? First of all, were you in the studio with Chuck or were you?
So I actually had the joint, and like I did. It's actually my first time telling this story. I had the joint, and me and Kaz from Dreamville, we're working on a project together.
Kaz is insane.
Yeah. So that's my brother.
Ah!
Like that's my brother. Yeah. So me and Kaz are working on the tape, and Kaz was actually on the record or whatever the case may be. He was on the record. Kaz verse hard too. We didn't scrap him for that. We scrapped him because when I talked to Top, he was like, "This shit sounds so legendary LA that we need a legend from LA." And not to say that Kaz isn't a legend, because I think he's gonna be there. But we talking about somebody that's already been
established.
around. Yeah, been around 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? And so we started throwing names out there, and I was like, I want Chuck. Like Chuck is, he's the guy for me. You know what I mean? Like
killed it,
bro.
Oh.
So I was actually shout out to his album that just came out, Dramatic. I was actually in the studio with him working on that album.
Yeah.
We was working together a lot, and how he works is he just has a lot of creatives in the room, and everybody bounces ideas off. And so that's how you end up with 30 songs on the album, just so many creatives in one space. And I was working with him for probably like a week and a half, and then just like, yo, I got this joint that I really, really want you on, bro, you know, but I told him, I said, I want you to be real. Like, if you don't fuck with it, I brought it up on a day where it was a lighter studio day because I didn't want him to feel the pressure to lie and be like, I got to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's a lot of people in the room.
It's because it's a lot of people in the room. You know what I'm saying? So it was like me, 6 other people that are close to him, and then Big Boy from Big Boy's Neighborhood.
Okay.
He was actually there.
Oh, he was in the studio.
He was playing the album for Big Boy or whatever.
on.
And so I was like, let me just play it. If you don't fuck with it, I'm completely good with you telling me you don't fuck with it. You know what I mean? We'll get one whenever the fuck it makes sense. I'm Mr. When it makes sense. That's who I am. And so I played it. He loved it right off the back. And then when it got done playing, Big Boy was like, nigga, this shit is crazy. He was like Chuck, you got to do this. Like, you have to do it. And I give Game a lot, bro. He wrote that verse in like 12 minutes, bro. Like, it was so fast. And he went in there, he rapped it. He had his grill in. He didn't take it out. You can hear that he has his grill in if you listen close. You know what I mean? Like, and he just got on there talking that shit, and I was just like,
he went insane.
He went
dog.
crazy, bro. And
Jesus
I was just, and
Christ.
as soon as he did it, I was like, this is it. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
we shooting a video for it. The video is gonna be hella
nice.
LA. Yeah, I was actually gonna send you the flyer for that. Yeah, feel more than free to pull up. We just want to bring the city out and just it's one of those for LA. Yeah, exactly. It's one of them for LA, man. So I just want niggas to come out, you feel me, and enjoy this shit. You know what I mean? By the time this drop, it'll probably be out, and it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe.
I love it. How do you feel about in the hip hop community? How do you feel about this idea of ghostwriters?
Yeah.
Right. I just watched what's her name? Patti LaBelle.
Okay.
I watched her interview on Drink Champs that they just dropped a few weeks ago.
I didn't know she out. I gotta tap into that.
Oh man, it's a beautiful fucking
I
episode.
gotta
I just
tap
watched
into
it a few days ago. Patti LaBelle is on Drink Champs.
Gotcha.
Which is like insane.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I was about to say
it's
that's
like,
fucking
Jesus
crazy. Yeah.
Christ. And
that's
they
crazy.
showed the whole fucking the B-rolls of her getting out, and they fucking had a red carpet
That
for her
is
and the whole
crazy.
shit. Yeah, she's amazing. But they had this conversation. I'm interested to talk to you about it. This idea of ghostwriters.
Yeah.
And they were saying how ghostwriters are different from a hip hop perspective based off, you know what I'm saying, this ego vibe of like rappers thinking that they can't get help. But like in R&B, they don't have a problem with ghostwriters.
Well, in R&B, it's not even ghostwriters because they're not ghosts. They get credit, they get everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a thing. It's only a thing in hip hop.
Why is that?
I think it's because hip hop people look at hip hop as a sport and they look at it from a talent perspective of who has the sharpest pen. And I respect that because I come from that world also about, you know, the the competitive factor in it. But I'm also very big on like, it's music, bro. We're trying to make the best moments. You know what I mean? So I do view it as, the way I view it is like, if you're going for best MC, then you can't completely like, you can't let nobody write a full verse for you. That's how I feel, a full verse. Because to me, a verse is like the meat and potatoes of what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? But from a hook, melody, cadence standpoint, I don't see nothing wrong with that, because it's like we're trying to make the best music. And on top of that, it also goes on what type of joint it is. So if you look at Impalas and Hydraulics, that's a very like rapper's joint. Like we're rapping, you know what I'm saying? So write your own verse, you know what I'm saying? But if we was going for some shit that we trying to get
some
played,
some bop shit,
trying to get played in the club, we want women to like it. Like, like nigga, anybody can throw an idea and it's gonna be like, oh nigga, that's fire. You get what I'm saying? Because your homie that don't even do music could just be a nigga that's around a bunch of women, and he'd be like, oh, I know women like this, you should say this. And that might be the most catchiest point in the song. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to stuff like that, it's just all an artist standpoint, and that's why like I don't fall in. I know a lot of people talk about ghostwriting when it comes to Drake. I think Drake is one of the best rappers of all time. I think he's the greatest artist of our generation. I don't even think it's to even be spoken about. But like, don't get his pen fucked up. Like when it come to rapping, like he raps.
Oh, he definitely reminded us of that when he beefed with Meek Mill.
Come on, bro.
And
like,
Meek Mill accused him of not right.
That
he
was
came
a prime
through
example. And it's like, shout out to Meek, but it's like, that's a prime example of you thinking shit sweet because a nigga get help with the bops. Don't get it fucked up because I get help with the bops. Like, I don't get help with this part of it. You get what I'm saying? And so, you know, Drake is one of those. So that's my view on ghostwriting. It's like, as long as ain't nobody writing your verses, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, then, you know, you should be gold.
Right, for sure, for sure. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, like, and before I say this, let me just shout out the sponsors of today, because we are at the one and only, the world famous Blue Moon Hookah Lounge. That is the number one fucking hookah lounge in the city of LA. Talk to him, Reason. Tell him. Come on, live review of Blue Moon right now.
If you come to LA and you ask me where we want to go, you can ask Rory from the Rory and Maul podcast.
I saw him when you came with him,
man.
a few months ago.
Anybody that come in LA and ask me where they want to go, bro, I bring them to Blue Moon, and I tell them, just like I told Rory, I said, you know, I see you with a couple beautiful women, and they not from LA, and they might want to go to, you know, the Hollywood, the, you know what I mean, like the Le Jardins, or the, you know what I mean, the highlight room, stuff like that, and that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But I told them, I said, you're not gonna have a good time there. You're gonna go there, you're gonna spend a lot of money, and you're not gonna really have a good time. But if that's your vibe, then that's cool. You know, you got beautiful women, you know what I mean, do your thing. But I told them, I said, you come here, you gonna have a great time. The women that you with, once they let their guard down, they're gonna have a great fucking time. You know what I'm saying? We bringing bottles in.
It's BYOB.
Come on, it's BYOB.
It's ladies twerking on couches.
Bro, the DJ,
insane.
it's gonna sound like LA, because that's the one thing about LA when you go out. It's that when you go out in Hollywood, it don't sound like LA. They playing top 100 shit. They not playing LA shit. You get what I'm saying? So when you get here, you gonna hear like Sheezy. You gonna hear Just Read Up Too. You gonna hear what LA sounds like in Blue Moon. You get what I'm saying? Like, you go to Highlight Room, you know, you gonna get all the, you gonna get the Cardi B's, you gonna get the Megan, and that's cool too. I love them. Love them.
No disrespect.
But no disrespect at all. But when you come here, you're going to get what LA sounds like. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Like, and so, you know, shout out to Blue Moon. I love Blue Moon.
Blue Moon Hookah Lounge, the number one hookah lounge in the entire
city. The number one hookah lounge in the entire
Los
city.
Angeles. It's a different type of energy in here, and you know we'd be remiss if we didn't shout out Blue Moon Meds LA, the number one cannabis company in the building as well. We got my brother Pally Plug in the building. Shout out Pally Plug. What we're going to do right now is go and spark this motherfucker, because you know.
I'm with it.
You know how we do. You know. We're having a good time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of them type of podcasts. So you just feel like you're in your living room or on your patio with your homies, just talking shit, just vibing on out, having good conversation.
Nah, for
you
real.
know what I'm saying? Smoking good hookah.
This is living room entertainment.
This that type of vibe, man. And you know, I tried my best to, you know, when we went through this rebranding stage for season 2, I tried my best to like, let me stand on the things that I actually do behind the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No disrespect to season 1. Season 1 was amazing. Yeah. But I didn't introduce the element of King Q behind closed doors. And that's what we have the pleasure of having right now. Hey, also shout out to this jacket I'm wearing. Shout out to my guy Munir from Scumbags. You know what I mean? Shout out to Scumbags. We got to get you some Scumbags gear too, Reason.
I'm with that too.
It's
I'm with that
mandatory.
too.
Hey, but real quick, I want to shift gears a little bit because that's oftentimes what I do at Unselfish Behavior Podcast. I like to shift gears a little bit, you know, because we riding the motherfucking stick shift. That's for goddamn show. But real quick, I want to hear more so about this industry from an inside the doors perspective. And, you know, for me, I've always been extremely and highly interested about what is the, like, I'm hearing so many things from the outer, but I've never in my entire life been the type of person that hears somebody else's perspective on an experience and take that as the truth.
Okay.
Right? So I'd rather ask or rather research what's actually going on and then make my assessment based off that. But we hear a lot of the cons. We hear a lot of the pros from an industry perspective, but you in them doors, you in them rooms. What are some of the cons that you've experienced in being in these rooms if you're so much comfortable in discussing?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
This is very good weed, by the way.
Hello.
Jesus Christ.
Hello.
God
We in
damn,
the building.
man.
And we goes nowhere. We
incredible.
are here to stay. Absolutely. Blue Moon Meds LA. You have to follow. If you didn't know, now you know. Shout out to Winter Watts. But for me, it's like I'm so interested in it from a non-biased perspective.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, what is it like being in those rooms, being at these industry parties, to be more particular and specific? Have you seen some shit to where you like, yo, this shit is insane?
Definitely,
This
100%.
shit is wild.
So it's
What does
funny.
that look like?
Industry parties are interesting because you see like a multitude of different personalities and situations going on. So you see the people that is they own drugs and stuff like that, and big ups to them because it's like for you to feel
That's what they
that
do.
comfortable in the space, and even past that, for you to feel that comfortable in the space to just be in your own vibe and appreciate it. You know what I mean? I know that also comes with the fact that you've been in a lot of spaces to where you don't feel comfortable, to where this is one of the few that you do, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so, I never knock what anybody does unless it's harmful to their life. You know what I mean? So, big ups to them. But you see that. I'm a people watcher. So you see that. You see the women that only came here for, a certain purpose and what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to catch them one. You see that. See the people that came here to network and they might
The hustlers, they're out there talking to
hustlers,
everybody.
you know what I'm saying? They might act like they drinking. They got a little water tonic on the rocks, and and they just kind of work in the room and stuff like that. And you just kind of see a little bit of everything. But the dope thing about industry parties is when you make relationships where it's like you end up like vibing with somebody that you never thought. You met them on some networking industry shit, but then y'all become homies. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you see I've been to some more calm industry parties where it's just kind of like a networking event. And then I've been to some wild ones where it's like, niggas just turned. Shout out Soho House. I just went there for my brother Kyle Banks. He's a producer from the label, and he was DJing there. And that was it was a cracking ass industry event. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all industry people in here, but it's cracking. Niggas are sweating, they dancing. Right. You know what I mean? We high, we drunk, having a great time. You get what I'm saying? And even the biggest of names is in there, and it ain't no security and all this other shit. You know what I mean? But it's some legendary nights and shit like that. Yeah.
Hey man, 2018 weekend of the BET Awards. I went to the best party of my entire existence on planet fucking Earth, and this nigga is a mega fucking star in the industry. I'm talking mega.
Can you say who it was?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I'm talking mega star. Everybody knows who the fuck this is.
Yeah.
And I'm in this nigga's house. I'm in this nigga's backyard. This is when I was like, if you don't know Reason, and I'm sure you do, unless my sister Nico. Shout out to my sister Nico. Education.
Shout out to Nico. I love
is
Nico.
key.
Yeah, that's
Education
my
is
sister.
key.
Education is
Shout
key.
out, education is key. But unless Nico have told you, I got established in LA from being an event producer as well as a spoken word artist.
I did not know that.
Absolutely.
That's
So
dope.
that's how I got my put on in LA, and everybody
Gotcha.
start knowing who I am, and I start meeting all these different people. I start throwing events and throwing parties in LA.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people coming to my parties and events, and I'm the networking nigga that you see in the parties. That is me to the core. Like I told you before the cameras came on, I don't have an attachment to what people's statuses are, or how many records you sold, or
That part.
That's not to diminish it. I would just like to judge you based off your energy and based off what you genuinely give without expectation of return.
That's dope.
So shout out to my manager at the time. Her name was Sani Chanel. Sani Chanel. Hassan.
That sound like an industry
Oh,
name.
she's amazing. Hassani Chanel, and I'll never forget, bro. I was homeless at this time. I was homeless. I was homeless all of 2017, all of 2018.
Gotcha.
We'll get into more of that off the camera. They want to hear about Reason today. But real quick, Sonny hit me up, and I'm at my mom's house chilling. I'll never forget this day. And she says, Q, what are you doing? And I said, nothing. I'm just at my mom's house. What's going on? And she would always hit me up for stage time, or like, hey, I got this last minute stage for you to hit up, or this last minute partner for you to meet with and have a meet, blah, 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 blah. So she's like, yo, do you have a suit right now? I said, I got something I can put together. I got a blazer. I got some, you know what I'm saying, some slacks. I got some fly shit I can put on. And she's like, get dressed right now. I'm about to pick you up from your mom's house. Send me the address. We're going to Jamie Foxx's house.
That's crazy. That's one of my favorite.
I said, what?
That's one of
We're
my
going
favorite
where?
talents. I don't want to say I've never met Jamie, but
Oh.
like he's one of, to me. So he's one of and I want you to get back to your story, but to me, he's one of them people that there's certain people that I call too talented, and what I mean by that is I always want another Jamie Foxx stand up. I always want another Jamie Foxx movie.
Okay, now you're talking.
I always want
Niggas
another
don't talk about Jamie Foxx
I always
stand-up.
want another Jamie Foxx whatever, and I say he's too talented because he'll never fulfill my desire for him to work, because if he gives me another stand-up, I'm going to be like, I want another album. If he give me another album, I'm going to want another radio show.
I need
Give
another
me another
show.
album, I want another movie. You get what I'm saying? Like, and he just dropped some shit on Netflix that I just watched literally yesterday.
The vampire shit.
Come on, man.
We watched that this morning.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit is lit as
No, that shit
fuck.
lit. That shit
Hey,
hard.
the fucking action scenes, the
shit,
shooting
bro,
scenes,
what?
they shooting niggas' legs
Come on,
off.
bro.
Hey, cut a
And
nigga head
I'm
smooth off.
I'm a zombie
God
nigga too.
damn.
So two things for entertainment. If it's zombies or bank robbers, I'm all the way in. You got me sold before I even know what the fucking plot is. It don't gotta be a plot.
Reason we're friends. I just want
yeah,
you to know that. Just want you to know we're friends. Officially we're
Don't gotta
friends.
be a
But go
plot.
ahead.
If you stealing some shit or shooting a zombie, I am all the way on board with whatever the fuck we doing now from here on out. And if you're doing both, then we can go to the moon with this shit. Yeah, it don't matter what we doing.
Hey,
Yeah.
did you see that show on Netflix called All of Us Are Dead?
Yes. Yes, bro.
Yikes,
Come on.
yikes,
Yeah.
yikes. You see Money Heist?
Come on. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, bro.
Okay,
Yes.
so those are my two favorite fucking genres. You understand?
yeah.
I need to see some villains winning. Period. I don't need to see the villain getting killed at the end or
That
shot
part,
at the
that part.
end. Or
Nah,
that's why I didn't
need-
like
I
that
ne-
fucking movie with the nigga from Get Out, Slim and what's the
Fuck. Queen and Slim.
Queen. I didn't like it.
Bro, I didn't either.
What the fuck?
What did we do all this for?
Y'all get all the way to the
Bro,
plane and get
what
shot?
the fuck did we do all this for?
Y'all niggas are wild.
Bro, come on.
Yeah.
And for like, and I don't mean to sound, but like for love, like my thing with like the whole love thing is like we can love after.
Hello?
Love can go like
What are y'all do? If y'all don't get on this fucking plane,
on the fucking
and
plane
get out of
and get
bro,
outta
I'm
here.
pissed in a fucking movie theater. I'm
and the
like,
movie
yo,
was fire.
I
all the
hate
way
the
up
movie
until-
now. I don't like it at all. It sucks.
All right,
Fuck.
but my bad. We was talking about Jamie
But
Foxx
yes,
party.
Jamie
Foxx party.
Foxx's motherfucking
Yeah.
party, dog. This is my first time at anything industry ever in my entire life. Right? I'm born and raised in Midtown, Los Angeles.
Gotcha.
A lot of niggas say they from Midtown. They ain't really from Midtown. What's understood ain't never got to be said, and we ain't never got to say no names because they know who we are. But I'm born and raised in Midtown. I grew up with all the Yank mobs and all the 18 streets and this and that, blah, 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 fucking blah.
Yeah, so you straight from Impalas and Hydraulics.
Yeah, absolutely.
You straight from that. Okay.
That
gotcha.
shit spoke to my spirit.
Yeah.
You understand me? But nigga, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know, man. This shit better be fucking lit, nigga. I'm watching this fucking shit called the zombie shit that I just said on Netflix. All of Us Are Dead.
All of Us Are Dead. Yep.
And then I'm watching my favorite movie of all time, bro. Goodfellas is right there.
Okay.
We're going to get into some shows and movies real quick. But Goodfellas is right there with this movie I'm about to say just for me on my list. But 300 was another one of them types of movies to where I'm like, y'all niggas are not about to get me this amped, bro, and all die at the end. Y'all not about to do. You seen 300, right?
I have. I love
Okay,
300.
yeah,
And- but also 300 is one of the exceptions. Though I'll tell you this.
It's a true story.
It is.
That's why.
That's what I'm about to say.
I knew it.
It's an
That's the
exception.
only
because
thing that holds
it's
me
a true
back.
story.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm like, I fuck with how gangster these niggas was, where they was like, we know what's at the end of this tunnel.
What?
We know what's coming. We know that there's no way out of this. We know that. And Like fuck it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like fuck it. Like
We're gonna die in the name of what we believe in.
I respect that.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I respect
nigga,
that.
I'm a big movie buff. I be at the house watching all type of shows and shit. I was just watching this crazy ass show on Netflix just now before I got here. This white dude fucking had his children and shit, and he was abusing them and shit. It's like top 5 on Netflix right now when you go home. This nigga, it's a documentary. This nigga fucking daughter ran away at 17 years old, called the police and said, yo, we have 15 siblings and they're all in the house chained up to fucking beds.
That's
and we've
crazy.
been getting abused. This is real footage, real body cam from the fucking, you know what I'm saying, from the fucking officer who pulled up on her when she ran away from the house. Insane type of shit, dog. And I'm like, this is what keeps me in gratitude. Hearing fucking stories like this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how y'all niggas was raised, but
right.
I wasn't raised tied up to the
nah,
bed
nah, that's a fact.
with a
That's a
chain
fact.
and
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying, giving heroin. Like
perspective.
that was not. I got whippings like any average
exactly.
Black
I got my
American
ass
in the
beat by my-
'90s.
by my
Yeah,
black mama.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's about the most trauma that we've had. The dad that was on drugs and the this and the like. That's as most as we've had. But like, motherfucker, you was tied up to the goddamn bed for 15 years.
That's different.
They've never seen a day of light. They've never interacted with anybody in society. They had no idea what entertainment was, had no idea what a smartphone was, had no idea, nothing.
That's crazy.
Nigga kept them in the house their whole fucking, all type of wild ass
That's
shit.
insane.
But anyways, let me shift gears because I'm driving a motherfucking Mustang. Let me drive it down the fucking street. So we're here. Understand, this is Unselfish Behavior Podcast. This is not a normal podcast.
Okay.
This is not normal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Reason may be sitting back like, yo, this nigga Q is really wild. And I'll be like, yeah, I absolutely am. So real quick, tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind the album. I want to get back to the music just because now I'm a genuine fan of it. I've heard it. I've engaged with you. I'm a genuine fan of the music now. Your album's coming out in October?
In October.
Yep.
That's the date that we aiming for right now. If this comes out and it's pushed back, I apologize to all my fans that's been waiting. But we just trying to get it right. But yeah, coming out in October. I'm gonna say as of now because my creatives change a lot. But and I've actually never spoken about this, but as of now, it's called Porches, and so that's what it's
Porches.
called. Porches.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is an exclusive announcement.
It's exclusive. I've never talked about that, but it's called Porches.
Beautiful.
And it's basically spoken from the perspective of. So I was born in South Central, grew up in Carson. So I was born in South Central on 57th and Fig. I moved to Carson in a neighborhood called Delamo. And I grew up off of Termite in Pricetown, and then I moved 2 blocks down to Termite and Weiser. And so Porches is the perspective of if me and you never met each other and we both lived on the same block, even if we never met each other our whole life, we're connected through everything, through celebrations, through traumas, through losses, through W's, everything just because of the porch we grew up on. We don't get to decide what we go through. It's really birthed by our porch and where we are and what we experience.
Absolutely.
And then it's also speaking about the difference even between, Carson and South Central, not too far from each other, like 8 or 9 miles.
That's
but
one small freeway.
it's that one small freeway for a quick little 10-minute trip. But my porch from South Central was much different than my porch from Carson.
So
And
you're
then
talking about both perspectives.
exactly. And then all my cousins grew up. So my whole family grew up on 57th and Fig. My whole entire, literally my whole dad's side of the family owned 5 houses over there. So all my little cousins, everybody's from that area. So not only my different perspective from that, but then also coming back and seeing what my cousins kept going through because they still live there. So they porch that remain, unchanged. And me looking at the difference between me and understanding how blessed I was to be able to move out of, because that's a rougher porch. I can honestly say that. It's a rougher porch than Carson. And so just speaking about those differences from every aspect of life.
I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. And we're just going to follow what the fuck Spirit is saying right now. The next question I want to ask is, where the fuck has Kendrick Lamar been?
Well, he just dropped the album. He just dropped the
I'm
album.
talking
Yeah.
before the fucking album.
Okay, yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
seen
yeah.
a nigga since I was in fucking community college, nigga. What the fuck? I'm like, yo, where is K-Dot?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
This nigga is there is no argument. This nigga's the best rapper in the entire planet.
That's a fact.
He took 6-7 years off. What's going on? Do you have any? What the fuck is going on? Any insight on that?
I think Dot just think and know, because this is like a 2-half. Like some of the things are things I think, and then some of the things are things that I know from being on the inside.
Yep.
Dot is just very particular about what he does, and he's very locked into specific ideas, if that makes sense. So one thing he taught me about even putting together a project, I think Dot is the absolute greatest of all time at putting together an album. Whether you like the album or don't like the album as far as concept, aesthetically, cover art, videos, what he dresses and everything.
I feel like he's
nobody,
a master at fucking highlighting the black community's experience.
Exactly.
The traumas,
exactly.
everything.
And the art behind it. Nobody goes as in depth as him when it comes to putting together an album. So I say that to say it takes a while to do something like that, only because ideas change. I know for a fact that he was almost ready to go, and then COVID hit. And you got to understand, for other people,
Almost ready to go. What do you mean?
almost ready to go, like release an album.
Okay, gotcha.
And then COVID hit,
Gotcha.
and so that delayed it. And then in that delaying process, now we're dealing with all different things. We're dealing with life inside. We're dealing with him becoming a new father. We're dealing with Black Lives Matter. We're dealing with so many different things.
George Floyd, all that was
George
going
Floyd,
on.
all of that. So now you go back in and you revamp the album again because you was ready to go, but COVID hit. And you got to understand, he's too big of an artist to drop during COVID because you're looking at a nigga that make
Facts.
I don't want to get into specific
Of
numbers,
course.
but 7 figures per show on a tour. I'm not going to drop an album and I can't tour. And if I was, let's say I had 100 shows lined up, it's $100 million.
Yeah.
Like, from a business perspective,
It doesn't make any sense.
we can't drop. You get what I'm saying? Like from the business perspective side of things. So I just think it was a combination of a lot of different shit that kind of went into one. And because of all those different things that happened, because these last 5 years for us was probably different than we'll ever experience in our life. I don't think we'll ever have to wait that long again, from what I think.
Unless it's a fucking zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. And
we'll get into that.
And in that case, I'm not really worried about a Kendrick Lamar album. I can give a fuck less. That don't kill zombies.
Niggas are wildin', man. I be thinking sometime, man, are they creating fucking zombies right now in front of our very eyes?
I feel that way, bro.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is monkeypox, nigga?
I'm a zombie nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'm gonna be honest with you.
Talk to me.
I was late today because I was playing Call of Duty Zombies. And that's what made me late. It's because I was playing.
Real
I
transparent
everything.
nigga.
I was playing Call of Duty Zombies, and I
Probably
hit you.
sucking that game.
Nah.
Yeah, go ahead. Probably
And you hit me, and I was like, damn, we on the boss. Because we do a little Easter egg shit. So I'm like, we on the boss level. I gotta finish this before I go. So I was like, all right, Q, give me like another 10 minutes. I'm like 10 behind.
45 minutes after.
I was on the boss level.
We
I'm
said
like,
no problem.
bro, I'm like, come on, my nigga. I ain't got this far yet. Yeah, let me get this out the way. Yeah,
too.
I was getting dressed while I was playing, throwing on a hoodie and shit. Like, come on, man. Let me get this.
Nigga
Yeah.
shit, man. We're living in such a different time now, bro. I remember in the early 90s, dog, how we would just like live life without any judgment or expectation of people. Do you remember that shit in the 90s,
No
bro?
social media,
The
bro.
90s was the best fucking era,
social
nigga.
media, bro.
I had so many best friends in the 90s, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? We all shared mutual interests, nigga. We just want to play video games and watch wrestling.
And we weren't scared to express our mutual.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
like
we weren't afraid to express that. We just talked about it, and that's just what it was. You know what I mean?
And I
Like,
love that, you know, and it leads me to this idea that I have about relationships and how there's so many women that have these perspectives of men about, oh, a man is supposed to do this, a man is not supposed to do that. A lot of motherfucking women out here have a problem with you playing video games.
So, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I'm like,
oh,
duh,
you're
like-
immature, you're a kid, or it's like,
And my whole thing
when
is like,
should I stop being a kid?
and my thing is like, what if I wasn't playing games, like, and I was like out doing something else? Like, you have a problem? Like, so like, what can I do in my free? Like, tell me that. What can I do in my free time?
prison.
That's like, yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's
That's-
like,
yeah.
if I'm playing the game, you know where I'm at. You know exactly where I'm. I'm on the couch with a controller.
Would you rather me here, or would you
Bro.
rather me saying, hey, I'm going
or
to
I'm
the
at,
strip
or I'm
club?
at Blue Moon, and I'm like, and I'm
Hello?
come on, and it's
I'm going
women on
crazy.
tables, and it's,
Yeah, absolutely. I understand. Fuck. Jasper, what do you think about that? You know? Yeah, the game too. Fuck it,
I'm on
nigga.
the game, bro. I'm on the video game,
I
man.
grew up, nigga, playing fucking Halo.
Yep,
and, Hey, you remember fucking Nintendo 64?
007.
You
and,
motherfucker. Shut up.
Come on. WCW
remember
versus
Rayman?
ECW.
remember
Rayman. Rayman. Yeah, nah.
Rayman was lit. Rayman 4?
Already?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
That's just the energy is great. That's just the energy is great, and we're vibing, and we're exactly where we need to be because guess what? 40 minutes in, I haven't even went to the deep end yet. I haven't even put my fins on. I haven't put my oxygen tank on. I've done nothing. I've only learned about you up to this point. So now let's talk about the basis of what Unselfish Behavior Podcast is, which is a thought-provoking podcast more than anything. And before I ask this question, I must honor the weed and hit the blunt one time.
Yeah, I got you right now. Can I get that lighter again after you? This is really good weed. So I'm a big drinker. I'm not the biggest smoker. So I be kind of babysitting how people babysit their drinks. I babysit my blunt. So I'm not finishing it because it's not good. I'm not finishing it because it is good.
Facts.
It
That's
is
a good
good.
sign
It
when a
is
nigga
good.
ain't finishing the blunt. That means that motherfucker's hitting, is doing what it's supposed to do.
That's a fact.
Hey, have you watched that movie, speaking of Jamie Foxx, have you watched that movie Soul?
I have not watched Soul. I've been meaning
Oh,
to.
you
I
gotta
know.
watch that motherfucking
Man,
movie,
I've been
bro.
meaning to. I've been
Hey,
meaning
get
to.
high as shit. Get high as fuck. You heard it from your brother first. Do not watch that movie without getting high as shit. Have y'all
You
niggas
just gave me
watched
something
Soul?
to do tonight. Yep.
Y'all watch Soul, right? Okay, I know I'm not tripping. This movie breaks down the concept of what life is.
I gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Jamie Foxx.
Like that? Okay, bet. I'm gonna watch that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that
The
tonight.
nigga breaks down exactly what life is all about. And I'm a strong believer, as my audience knows, I'm a very strong believer in believing that they toy with us in the media.
For sure.
That they mask things as comedy or animated so that we don't take it as serious as we're supposed to.
For sure. That's not a theory or a hypothesis. That's 1,000% true. And things that I've like seen behind closed door, like
Bro,
of certain shit. Yeah, no,
and
that's,
if you want to know what the agenda is, I always tell my daughters this. I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old and a 1-year-old. I tell my 9-year-old and my 12-year-old all the time, I don't mind you watching cartoons. I'm not that type of fucking dad.
yeah.
But you're not going to be engulfed by this shit. And you're going to know what the agenda is if you're watching it.
Yeah, exactly. You can
I'm
enjoy
not-
it for the entertainment, but
exactly.
as long as we're on the same page.
Hello?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, you're not about to watch this shit all day. You're not about to be in your tablet all day. You about to have a time frame on that shit because guess what they doing? They toying with us.
Yeah.
They're making it seem as though we're living in a reality that we're actually not even living in.
Yeah.
We believe so much in these physical fucking meat suits.
Bro, so one of my favorite rappers is Lupe Fiasco, and he got a song. I forgot what the song is called, but the start of the verse, he says, the first two lines he says is, "Believe me like you saw me on TV," and that was so deep to me because it's like we live in a reality where anything you put on television or social media now or whatever, you automatically believe it right off the bat. People speak
No
on it.
factual
People
evidence
speak on it
at
before
all.
they even research it. I could put up if I was the owner of TMZ, I could put up a headline that says, you know, such and such artist dies. And you're going to get 20,000 RIP posts before one person waits and says, well, did that person actually die? Did that person actually do this that they said that they did? Because it's believe me like you saw me on TV. The moment that you see it, the moment that you hear it,
You believe it.
You automatically believe it. 100% without
Isn't
no
that
type
a
of research.
gift and a curse?
It is. It's a gift and a curse.
How do you manage that?
It goes person by person because if a person has morals and respect for what they speak about and what they talk about, then they manage it well because they don't want to be known as the person that was the reason why something got out there that shouldn't have been out there. You know what I'm saying? But then there's other people that they don't give a fuck about that. They just want the clicks. You know what I mean? And I'm a very big perspective person. I respect both sides of the coin. I just think it comes down to more about the other people that are involved in it and them taking the time to be able to decipher what's what and what's not. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, I look back at this shit, bro, and I'm like, damn, this shit is so in front of our faces. It makes me think about, for example, as we're on this topic, the movie The Matrix. We talk about this shit, we laugh about it, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, that's another movie that they gave us all the answers to.
For sure.
I'll never forget one of the most popular fucking scenes of that movie.
You know Will Smith was supposed to be in that movie?
I knew that. I just found that out actually a few
Supposed to be in
months
that
ago. I
movie.
was researching that shit and
supposed to be in
found
that
out
movie.
Will Smith was supposed to be Neo.
Supposed to be Neo.
The nigga was supposed to be fucking Neo.
But the
Will Smith.
way that the directors
he would have
pitched
crushed
it to
it,
him,
by the way.
he would have. But the directors was high, and they pitched it to him, and they pitched it to him like high people pitch things, and he wasn't interested in it.
He wasn't feeling it.
He wasn't. He was
It
like,
sounded like a bunch of niggas taking mushrooms.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
like,
this
it's like
ain't-
I think that on the interview they said we're gonna make you jump in the air and freeze to kick somebody, and then we're gonna spin the camera around you 3 times before you kick them.
And that shit looked vicious.
But that was how they pitched it, and this is Will Smith.
couldn't
It's
see
like
the vision.
he couldn't see the vision. Yeah,
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah. But shout out to Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
he saw the vision.
Absolutely. And then niggas a forever legend. I didn't know Keanu Reeves from fucking Speed before that. Like,
That's
my
a fact.
dad did. I didn't know that
yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think about that movie, and they're like, remember that scene when Neo first got plugged into the fucking real world where the fucking robots are at and shit like
Yep.
that? And he wakes up in that room and he's throwing up all
Yep.
this fucking shit.
Are you trying to get it together?
And he opens his eyes and he's blinking his eyes, and he said, and Trinity walks in his room, and he's like, my eyes are killing me, basically. And she's like, that's because you've never used them.
That's deep. I never even thought about that line. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You're not in the Matrix no more. You don't
crazy.
even know what
It's your first
anything
time-
looks
this
like.
is first time looking at
You've
anything.
never used your eyes
Yeah,
before.
exactly. Nah,
That's the line that
crazy.
gets me in that whole movie, dog. And I'm like, nigga, that's us.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's fucking me up. I can't sleep at night sometimes thinking about this shit, dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, are we in a simulation? Are we in some shit, nigga, that they done created? What's
I feel
going
like,
on,
I feel like
Reason?
it's two sides. There's 3 truths. There's your truth, my truth, and the actual truth. I think the actual truth always lies somewhere in the middle. So what I think is that it's like, for me personally, my view, we don't live in a simulation, but we live in everything a simulation is, meaning that this is people that are creating this. There's people that's controlling it. They're controlling every step of it. So it's like it might as well be a simulation. You get what I'm saying? Like, not a simulation to the standpoint that, like, we're all real. We all have our own, free will and thoughts and everything like that. But it's like, we can only own this property if they say we can own this property.
Right.
We only get the news that they tell us exists. You know what I'm saying? We only see the buildings that they say that they do. This is what I tell people from LA. I say, go to Watts, get in the car, and then drive to Beverly Hills without using freeways. And I say that because I say freeways are an exit for you to not see how they divided our neighborhoods. If you drive to Beverly Hills,
You can
from
see the distinct
you can see
difference
the
in every
you can
neighborhood.
see it change. You can literally see it change as you drive. You can see it change, and you can see that it was done purposely. You can see the traffic lights change. You can see it go from liquor stores,
Even the quality
liquor
of the
stores and
traffic lights,
churches,
it's something as simple as that.
liquor stores
Looks
and
like
churches
shit.
to vitamin shops and freshly pressed juices. You can see the change in all of them. And then you can see when they pushing us out. You can see like, oh damn, Compton got a Best Buy. Okay, cool. Oh damn, Compton got a Target. Okay, cool. Like, oh, it's Poodles and Whites.
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
White
you know
people
what I'm saying?
walking in the middle of the night
You
with
can
their
see
doggies.
it. You can see it, and it's even 2 sides to that coin, which is like, okay, they're pushing us out, but why am I conditioned to know that these things represent that we stay here? Why do I see these differences and automatically know that we're moving out? And why do I not just see these differences in general? And you got to think about it, like, and this is the interesting thing about taxes. We pay taxes, and taxes pay for whatever the hell happens in the city.
That's right.
So why are there more potholes in Compton than there are in Beverly Hills if we all pay taxes? It's not like Beverly Hills people pay.
More taxes than us. They all live in California.
So what are we talking about? So why do they have a clean street and we have potholes? You know what I'm saying? Why do they have GMC shops and different things like that? That's vitamin and health based, but we have Popeyes on every corner, McDonald's on every corner, 2 McDonald's on every corner, liquor stores, churches. You know what I'm saying? The church is just a balance. And it's like, why do we have? It's all of these things get approved by the same city. They all get approved by the same white
State.
person that stamp it and give you the
Same
loan to
legislation,
do it.
same
It's the
law,
same
same
thing.
bill.
So why can we not? You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I move out to Orange County, I can open a vitamin shop in a month because the permits they fly through a little bit quicker, and they're not checking as big on my background and stuff like that because they automatically think that I'm a better person or I'm from a different descent because I'm applying for a place over here. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little bit of both. It's not a simulation to a point to where we don't have control of what we do, but it's a simulation to the point that they control what we see, what we experience, all of those things, and we're not in control of that, regardless of how
Sometimes
much.
I feel like we're their fucking lab rats. Like we're their little experimental, us in the hood, right? We're those, the ones that they push the vaccinations to.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. But we're their little guinea pigs. that are controlled by fear because we come from lack.
Yeah.
People in Beverly Hills and Santa Monica and Bel Air, they're not controlled by fear because they come from abundance.
That's a fact.
They don't come from lack. So they don't know what it feels to feel scared about not paying your rent next month or not being able to feed your family. They don't have any idea what that language is. Even at their lowest, even at their worst, they're middle class.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
So when we starting from the bottom,
yeah.
we don't even have the benefit of being able to have a landing point.
Yeah.
They can at their worst, they gonna land on middle class.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's their worst. That's
Yeah.
their bottom of the bottom of the bottom of
Exactly.
the bottom. That's why niggas don't respect Drake.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
his bottom was like low key middle class.
Yeah. I get what
Started
you're saying.
from the bottom now.
Yeah.
Niggas look at Drake like, nigga, you grew up with both parents. Your mom had a great job. You had a great.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But that's the perspective. That's the lens that people have. Go ahead, my brother.
So I'm gonna fuck you up. I learned about credit and taxes from an 11-year-old white kid. That's who taught me about credit and taxes. So I played basketball at Northwestern State in Iowa, and my coach, his son, taught me taxes and credit. And why that's important is not because I learned taxes and credit, but because it shows how far we are behind. We're always a generation behind. So our parents, they were in survival mode. So think about it. Every black household. I don't know how you grew up. I don't know how you grew up.
Probably grew up pretty privileged.
But he might have grew up the same way though, and this is the interesting thing. Without me knowing any of y'all, let me take a shot
I love
real
you,
quick.
Pally Play. I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead, Reason. I'm listening.
Without me knowing anybody's upbringing, I knew that graduating college was an achievement. It's an achievement. In white households, it's not an achievement. Why? Because they already what we're learning about college now, which is that it's actually not that valuable. You don't really need it to do what you got to do to make money. They learn there. So our parents didn't know that. So the white people that are our parents' age, they already knew that. Our parents didn't know that because they didn't go to college. So they thought that college was an achievement. So they birthed us and raised us to say, you need to go to college. 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 So we go to college. We're all proud. Mom, Dad, take a picture of me. I went to college or whatever. And this coming from a nigga, I got 2 degrees. But we raised that way, and then we get into the real world, and we like, I'm not making no money. Whereas then the white people that are our age, they're like, oh, you ain't making no money because you went to college, and you didn't really know what the plan was. And if the plan to make money involves you going to college, then cool, go to college. But if it didn't involve you going to college,
You're just going to please somebody else.
bro, people don't know. So Harvard trains you. This is a literal thing. This is an actual fact. Harvard trains you to drop out of their business school. They train you to drop out of college. They want you to learn how to build a business quick enough to where you don't finish because you just do your business. So the people that graduate, it's because they absolutely had to graduate. So Harvard, you go look at these numbers. Harvard's business school retention rate, which is the people that graduate, is lower than any other major that they have because they don't want their people to graduate. We want to teach you how to make a business. That way you drop out, you start your business. Oh, by year 2, you're like, oh, I know what I want to do to be a millionaire. I don't got to stay here. I'm about to go do that. You get what I'm saying? Like they literally, so their retention rate is lower in the business program because they want you to drop out. But most of the people that go to Harvard are white. So we're just behind. You get what I'm saying? That's all it is that we're just behind. And it's like we have to work twice as hard to catch up. Our parents were in survival mode. It's not that they didn't want to give us more. It's that in their mind, it was pay your bills, pay your rent, whatever comes after that. Make sure my kids are good. Make sure my kids go to college because clearly college is what we need to be able to be successful, not knowing. And it's just survival mode. They're just trying to figure it out.
Anybody else's mind blown? What the fuck is going on? I just got a whole run through on what the perspective of college is.
Dead ass.
And its totality.
I could talk about that. Shit like that I could talk about all day.
You know what's crazy though? There's so many people that's currently going to watch this. It's kind of like, sometimes I view these platforms kind of like, just like a lot of other platforms, if not every platform, I view as though they're giving you the answers to life.
Yeah.
When you just take the knowledge and just apply it and see what happens to your life, it's like you can't question anything.
For sure. And
Right?
consistency.
Exactly. You're hearing this from somebody who actually went to college, who actually got a degree.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
I'm telling you, it's not that, like, bro. Like, so it's crazy. This conversation we just had, go back and listen to either College Dropout or Late Registration, but I want to say it's College Dropout.
Okay.
This is when I knew Kanye was a genius, when I got older. Because I was one of the people that was like, Kanye's not a genius. He just says a bunch of crazy shit and people think he's a genius. I think it's a little bit of both. Like I told you, the truth is, and I think he's a little crazy, but I think he's also a genius. I went back and listened to College Dropout after I knew all of these things, degrees and all this other stuff, and he's making fun of it. But during the era though, where we were like,
It's glamorized.
It's glamorized. Where in the black community, it's like you need to go to college and graduate. At that point, he was so ahead that he has a skit on there where he's talking about a kid burying his dad, and he's like. And he was like, but I'm proud of my father. There's nobody here at the funeral. We barely have enough money to pay for the casket, but he left me with his degrees. And even if I don't have a home to live in or a blanket, his degrees will keep me warm, and I can make a blanket out of them. You get what I'm saying? Like, but it's because he understood already at that point. This paper don't give me no value. These classes don't give me no value. These things don't give me no value. This is just a system that they integrated for us, and they say that this gives us value, but it's like that paper don't mean some of the richest people ever that never graduated.
So many successful people that have dropped out of high school.
Bro, because they figured it out. Figured it out.
It's like I'd rather pay attention to those individuals than the ones that are like, I've always been kind of one of those ones that go against the grain. If I see everybody doing it, I probably am not going to want to do it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's when I started to know around the age of 23, 24, 25 years old, I started to realize that I was an actual leader. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm drawn to the unorthodox. I'm drawn to the other roads that don't look normal.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like everybody else. I don't want to look like everybody else. I don't want to value things that everybody else values. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to play by the same rules. I don't want to, follow these conformities. I want to just be free. And now I am, by the grace of the Almighty God.
That's beauty.
Very free. All right? So listen, this is what we're going to do right now.
I know we got carried away a little bit.
No. This is flowing. Yeah. This is can we just make some noise? This is flowing right now.
I'm going to clap to that.
If it's flowing, just give me a little something. So all I'm going to say is this. The conformities of this world, bro, they've kept us in spaces ever imaginable in human history.
Yes.
But yet we're still here. We're still thriving. We have all these perspectives on race and religion and politics and this and that. So my question to you is, what do you think the overall purpose is of us being on this spinning planet in the middle of nowhere? Why are we down here? What are we supposed to do, if anything?
I like that you said, if anything. For me, I think that our, and this is going to sound super cliche, and I hate when I sound super cliche, but I think our sole purpose here, and I don't mean this from the romantic standpoint, though, is love. I feel like we're put on this planet to test how open and lovable our spirits and our hearts are. That's how I feel. I feel like we're put on this planet similar to what you were talking about treating the janitor like the president.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're put on this planet to test how much love we can show, how much love we can give, to see how love changes lives and changes people's perspectives and things that they've gone through. I think that that's the main thing that we're put on here, and also to test how much we love things. I feel like the people that struggle the most in life are people that their love for whatever they're doing it's not strong enough to push them to break through and live a life. Like if you live to be 80, it's like you can live for 50, you can live for 40 of those years, I'll say on average, 40 of those years working and doing some shit that you don't even love. Why would you do that? Yeah. Why would you do that, bro? Like this is coming from a nigga that I'm not the richest, but I make good money. And you know what I mean? But like when people ask me the best thing that I love about being signed or being like a rapper that, is a professional rapper, I tell everybody the same thing is that I wake up and do what I want to do every morning. I don't have a 9 to 5 or someone that's telling me I have to be somewhere. It don't matter how much money I make. that's more valuable to me than anything. That's why when people ask me about the respect I have for Top, tell people Top is like my top two of human beings and not two, because of the fact that he gave me the chance to be able to live life similar to like that eyes comment. I mean, the eyes quote about first time you know, using your eyes. It's like, I'm like, damn, I wake up every day and do what I want to do and do what I love to do, and I make money doing what I love to do. This is shit that I would do for free. So I feel like life, going back to your question, is just about, I feel like we were put here to test our love for other people, to test our love for humanity. That's unselfish love. Shout out to the
Unselfish
Unselfish
Behavior Podcast.
Yeah,
The one and only.
Unselfish Behavior Podcast. But to test that, but then to also test like, how much do you love what you do? You know what I mean? Like, if you love, let's say you love making shoes. Will you make shoes for the rest of your life, even though it don't get you in the house that you want it to? You know, it don't get you the girl that you want.
You're
You know what I
talking
mean?
that talk.
Will you do it that way? You know what I'm saying? This is actually the question I asked up and coming artists when they asked me. My bad. When they asked me for advice, the first thing I asked them is, do you love music? Because if you don't, and you doing it because you want people to think you dope, well, you're gonna be doing it for a long time before you make money and people think you dope. You're gonna be doing it
If
for
at
free.
all.
If at all.
Yeah.
If at all.
Yeah.
You're gonna be doing it for a long time before people tell you that you dope and they pay you good money to do what you do. And like you said, if at all. So like, how much do you really love what you're doing? You know what I mean? So I just think it's a test of love.
That's beautifully said, bro. And it leads me to the thought of like people on the other side of the spectrum who don't see that value. It's one thing to be able to see that value, to honor that value, to know what self-worth is, to know all these great things. But what do we say to the individuals whose souls are completely lost and gone? And they're actually sold by the image. They believe genuinely in their spirit that this is all that exists, and there's nothing you can tell me. My struggle is my struggle. My high points are my high points. What do you say to those people that's like, yo, bro, I would sell my soul. I would sell my eternal soul for this contract because I don't know my self-worth, like Reason's saying. I don't know that. I've never learned that lesson yet.
Yeah.
What do you say to these artists, bro, that's out here like literally, and you see it, you in them rooms. I see it, and I'm on the outside. It's kind of like, hey, I seen two people up there on floor 4 fucking. I'm pretty sure you see it from the inside. I'm looking at it live right here from the outside, right? It's that perspective. But you've seen artists time and time again not just sell their soul, but speak about selling their soul.
Yeah, yeah.
And saying, yo, I gave this up so that I can have these riches and have this freedom and have this. What do you say to those artists?
I say it's all about what you want. There's some people that they didn't necessarily love music. They got into it to hit a lick, and I'm not mad at those people because anything that a black man or woman could do to feed their family from where we come from, that's a win. You know what I mean? So from that perspective, you know, big ups to you. I'm glad that you found a way to, you know, figure this out and jug it, and I'm happy for you. But for the people that's lost and they doing it for that, and that's what they looking at their worth or their value on, I tell them just go back to, like, always ask yourself this question. Anything that you're doing in life, I say ask yourself this question. I'm not trying to be a philosopher, but would I do this if no benefit came back to me? If there was no money, if there was no thank yous, if there was no appreciation, would I still do this? You know what I'm saying? If you never got a thank you or appreciation or nothing like that, you would still eat food every day. Why? Because you have to eat food. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you will do on this planet that you will do to that level where you get nothing back, that's something that you need to do for you. That's something that you love doing. You know what I mean? And so I would say go back to that. And I tell people, find your wins in that. I tell up-and-coming artists, don't find your W's or celebrations in the platform that you ended up landing on or the amount of views you got. I say find it in, like, when you wrote that song that you never thought you would be able to write a song like that, that's a win. I used to write certain songs. I swear to God, I'm not even just saying this because I'm on camera. I used to write songs that I was so proud of that I would call my brother and take a shot. I'd be like, yo, I just wrote this record. It's fucking incredible.
It's insane.
I want to celebrate it. Like, I want to celebrate it. Like, these are my W's because these are the W's that come from, it don't come from money. It don't come from appreciation. It don't come from thank yous. It don't come from none of that. It's just like what I did for me because I love it.
I love that.
Say just go back to what you love.
Shit, nigga, I'm thinking about me and the Queen and BV in season 1. After episodes, what we would do, go to the patio, smoke one, hold shots up and say, yo, we just had an
amazing episode, and nobody heard it.
Nobody heard
it.
It's just for us, man.
And it's not even about that.
Oh, man.
It's just about the fact that you celebrated a win. Like, that's a win in life, my nigga. That's something that, like,
for sure,
ends up making you live longer. That's something that make you, you know what I mean? Like, when you might have been down that morning because you had, I don't know, a fucking flat tire, whatever the fuck you went through that, like, bothered you, and you're like, damn, this shit, like, put me in a better mood. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Those are wins in life, bro. Money come and go. I done been up. I done been down. I done had people love me, hate me, everything. Like, the things that don't leave are the things that genuinely you love that make an impact on you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, nigga, this is beautiful shit. I could sit here a reason for another 2 of them things. You know what I'm saying? And vibe all out. But, you know, for me, I always honor, I try my best to honor not just the people around me, but my audience as well, those who have been following us since the early stages of us interviewing Stevie Hartz and Nico.
Both of my family, my brother, my sister.
Shout out Stevie Hart. That's my guy. That's my guy's amazing. And then Nico, she's amazing. Education is key, Nico. I keep telling them education is key. But I always like to leave it on levels to where it's digestible for the audience. Where they're able to digest what was said.
It's art. It's art.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Like, for me, I can talk all day. I can write a thick-ass book, but do I want to?
Exactly.
Will it benefit the people if I did that? So,
exactly.
You know, I always try to follow spirit on that note. But, man, it's been an absolute honor to have you here, my brother.
That's love.
We've had an amazing fucking conversation. I'm very full in my cup, my brother.
I appreciate it,
I feel a friendship brewing.
100%. Yeah. You know, I told you. Tell people I'm hard to reach, but I'm not hard to reach.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You text me and you only text me one time, I'm hard to reach. If you send a double text or give me a call, then I'm easy to reach.
Absolutely. And I love that, my brother. But, man, hey, shout out to the squad in the building right now. Shout out to Pally Plug. Shout out to the queen in the building. She ain't been here in quite some time, but she's back. We got Jasper in the building, Danny in the building on the audio. With that being said, man, thank you again, my brother, for showing up. Thank you for the beautiful conversation. Thank you for those of you who tuned the fuck in. Thank you for those of you who got high with us and smoked one.
100%. Wait, I gotta ask one question. Have you ever had a recurring guest, like somebody that came back?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool. I was about to say I want to be one of those, man.
Come on,
absolutely.
I gotta
pull up. Yeah,
we gotta have you back. Actually, we're gonna bring you back after that album drop.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about the album at that point. Yeah,
let's do that.
It's a lot to talk about in this album. So
absolutely, man. I firmly believe that, my brother. This is beautiful. All right, hey. At the end of the day, we're all happy to be alive. With that being said, I'm your host. I'm your main man, King Q. Unselfish Behavior Podcast. We had Reason in the building.
Yes, sir.
The Unselfish Behavior Podcast family is in the building. With that being said, we out.
You know what it is, Zib on the beat, yeah. Legendary, level, yeah.